Hello, everyone. Friends, uh, fellow brethren, and skeptics alike, please lend me your ears. I come to speak about God. And in this episode, hold on, something just popped up. You scroll that way. In this episode, I'd like to discuss something I find dear in my heart. I'd actually like to talk with Muslims and Christians today. This is going to be a cross-examination of Quran and the Bible, which I hope can reach out to more Muslims to understand the truth of Christ. So first off, I'd like to point out a verse from the Quran. This verse states, "They neither crucified Jesus, nor did they kill him." I do not speak to disprove what has already been spoke, just for you're all aware. But I'd like to share another verse that's equally of importance. Muslims, as you all know in your Quran, Muhammad tells you to go to the Injil and go to Christians who have the answer for you about any questions you may ask. Now, the common interpretation of what Muhammad had said was, frankly, that someone had been replaced Jesus on the cross, and it appeared so that Jesus was crucified, and that he wasn't truly crucified. I'd like to cross-examine this with the Bible, since that's what Muhammad tells you. And here's a verse that I think would really be interesting for you to know. Jesus said, "The Father loves me so because I give up my own life in order to take it up again, and no one can take it from me." So, together, if we put these two verses from two separate religions which have had much animosity towards each other, we get, "They neither crucified Jesus, nor did they kill him. For Jesus had said, 'The Father loves me so because I give up my own life in order to take it up again, and nobody can take it from me.'" What we get here is Jesus gave up his own life. He was the one to carry and bear his own cross and to take it up to where he would be crucified. Because it was the will of the Father for him to be crucified, it was also the will of the Son. Now, Jesus has, in Christianity, if you don't know, two wills, human and divine. His divine will, if you don't know, is just the will of God and also Jesus. And the human will is a human will, but also the will of Jesus. These are unified within the hypostases, or the person of Christ. Now, understanding this and how we understand God and our relationship with Jesus, how I'd like to describe this is Jesus willingly gave up his own life. And they did not. They weren't the ones to crucify him, nor were they the ones to kill him, for Jesus was the one to give it up himself. And he did this because it was the will of the Father, and therefore also the will of the Son. I think this is beautiful in a lot of ways, because it shows just the love of God. Also, it comes to prove that Jesus is God. For if Jesus has the right to give up his own life and take it up again, first of all, who has that right other than God? Only God has the right to decide who lives and who dies. For God has the right to decide all life. He's the one that knitted you in the womb and knew you before you were even born. He was the one to cause the great flood, to rid the world of evil. He has a right to take our lives, and he has a right to give us life as well. Because of this, it can only be said that Jesus must be God. Because if Jesus has the right to put down his own life in order to take it up again, not only does it show that he has the right to die willingly for our sins, but also the right to rise again, to literally resurrect. And in this, it shows why we believe that Jesus is God. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of, well, whatever this is. This is just me talking about religion. And I hope this reaches out to some Muslim or Christian out there. I hope I could bridge some gap between these two religions and really evangelize more Muslims in a way that is less less skeptical and, well, not skeptical, less condemning. For, let's put it this way. The farmer that plants a seed and nurtures it, the seed will grow, right? But the farmer who plants a seed but ignores it in order to dig up all the weeds will sadly find the seed to die anyway, because he neglected the seed and didn't actually take the time to care for it. See, if you take care of your seeds that you have planted, the seeds that God had given you, your gifts and the truths, these seeds will grow, and they'll grow to outshine any weed that you have in your field, eventually covering them in shade, making them incapable of having sunlight, and killing off the weeds, or by choking them out. Either way, if you focus on these seeds of truth, these seeds, these gifts that God has given you, rather than the weeds and your failures, you can have a better relationship with God than if you just focused on the weeds. And I believe this with everything. With you, when I cast judgment on you, or when I cast judgment on myself, you have to really focus on the gifts you were given and the truths that you were told. So thank you for listening again to today's episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.